Well, Lebanon's Hezbollah says it targeted Israeli military positions in the disputed Shebaa Farms in solidarity with the Palestinian people. This after the unprecedented attack by Hamas gunmen from Gaza into Israel. Israel responded with barrages of artillery into southern Lebanon. No casualties have been reported there. Now let's get the latest. We are now across to our correspondent, Mia Alberti. Mia, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Well, Hezbollah has heeded the call by its allies and essentially joined the fighting between Hamas and Israel. Talk to us about the significance of the Lebanese military group targeting the Shebaa Farms and, of course, how significant was that impact?
Well, it's quite significant because at least it is, in the minimum, distracting Israel here in the north of Israel, here in the south, meaning that instead of Israel being completely focused in what it has on its hands in the south, it now has to face another front here in the northern part of their country, using soldiers, using tanks, and using intel that is extremely necessary now to combat what is happening in the south. So even if this is just a distraction maneuver or a power move from Hezbollah against Israel, it does seem to be effective so far, since the first shot of artillery was shot from Hezbollah. We have been seeing every hour or every half an hour, we're seeing a new incident happening. We do have reports that a child was injured by shrapnel here in the Lebanese side by the Israeli artillery, and it was this child was taken to the nearest hospital according to the Lebanese army. We also know that Hezbollah targeted Israeli infrastructures, which of course are going to weaken even more Israeli position. But I think what this really, the relevance of this is just to show that Hezbollah is really not that afraid of Israel and of showing its force. And indeed, the narrative that we have been hearing from Hezbollah in the past 24 hours just goes to show that it is a group that doesn't seem bothered by what is happening. It seems confident in what the stances it is taking and the action it is taking now. As these artillery exchanges were happening in the south, Hezbollah was throwing pro-Palestine rally in the southern districts of Beirut. And one of Hezbollah's senior officials gave a speech saying in a message to Hamas that Hezbollah's rockets and Hezbollah's arms are for Hamas. So there is a question if this will escalate, and if so, I mean, it really is nobody knows really the extent of the power and the capacity of Hezbollah, because it has been kept under wraps for all of this time. So we really do not know the capacity of Hezbollah if this does escalate any further.
Especially now, Mia, what we are currently reporting is, of course, that officially the Israeli cabinet, security cabinet, has now declared a state of war, amid calls, of course, of a cessation, etc. What I am also interested in is, of course, how the Lebanese government is receiving all of this. How have these attacks by the Hezbollah been received by the government particularly? Has there been any official statement?
There was an official statement on Saturday of the Lebanese government supporting Palestine and supporting Hamas in their attacks against Israel, saying that this is a result of Israeli occupation and violence against Palestinians. So really just backing the Palestinians, but there was no mention of Hezbollah. And we have to think that there is a very frail political balance here also, because Hezbollah is a big part of the government, it's a big part of the parliament, and it has a huge influence in how the next people in power are chosen. And that's one of the reasons that, for example, Lebanon has been without a president for so many months. And so it's not a case that the Lebanese government can just tell, have a slap in the hand of Hezbollah and tell them to stop, or even deploy the Lebanese army to these regions that are de facto controlled by Hezbollah. It's not as simple as that. So what Lebanon has is a very powerful force an enemy of Israel inside of its territory that is, I mean, Hezbollah is also Lebanese, but that has the capacity to really do damage across the country, and an entity that the Lebanese government and the Lebanese army really cannot control, or at least that's the expectation. But I think the most important thing is that we just have so many questions right now, even us reporters that are supposed to have the answers about what is happening in the south. Is it just the usual that we see, this small confrontation between Hezbollah and Israel? Is it a test? Is it a preparation for something larger? Or is it really the start of something larger? And as you said, Israel has declared a state of war. Israel is prepared to attack if it continues to be attacked by Hezbollah, which seems to be taunting the Israeli army at the moment, setting up tents at the border, attacking these infrastructures on the other side of the border. So I think the Israeli army is just telling groups like Hezbollah that it's just not any other Sunday that we are living. It is a state of war, and Israel is prepared to respond as it has never done before, as Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu has said before.
Mia, coming to us live there, just giving us an update in terms of what is currently happening in Israel and, of course, Gaza. Mia Alberti there.